Hey guys, it's been a long time that I didn't do a proper video, and life change and dedicate myself in the past 3 years in archery, but never give up. Never give up slingshot. I just walk away from some forums and some stuff, some social, but never give up slingshot and frameless. So a lot of you guys ask me to make a video about frameless shooting from A to Z. So this is what I'm doing today, and trying to explain a little bit of everything, more or less, a little bit of everything about frameless. And I'm going to explain all the things that I'm going to talk about are related to a specific frameless technique. There are several frameless techniques, and today I'm going to cover one, my favorite, and so everything is I will talk about is related to that technique. So there will be the second part of this video will be how to make one, and after there will be a third part. It will be how to shoot, hand position, grip in the pouch, release, this kind of stuff. And the fourth part will be how to aim and the aiming techniques. So always with that type of shooting. I made some notes so I won't forget stuff. Well, if I didn't write it here, I will forget because because they are not here. So first, before starting, I would like to say that the slingshot world is so big, it's so huge, that can embrace all the opinions and all the ways to shoot, because there is no a perfect way to do stuff. There is just the best way to do it for you, for that particular moment of your life, the particular type of shooting, and the particular way of shooting. So and also what material you have. Basically, I'm saying that what I'm going to say in this video is what I learned in my experience, what worked better for me, and what I'm using. Perhaps there is another way, a better way. There are hundreds of ways different, and no one is better than another one. So it's it. All right. First thing that we want to talk is about frameless is what material you have to use. There are two things, right? One is tubes, and the other one is bands. So let's talk about the good thing and the bad thing about both, and the different possibility you have. So tubes came in different sizes, right? For example, 1632, 2040, 1745, 1842. What does it mean? It means that the first two numbers are the inner diameter. The second two numbers are the outside diameter, right? So you can subtract the first and the second, and you can know how thick is the wall of the tube. Smaller is the wall of the tube, faster we retract, so faster will be the tube. And for each ammo, size of each ammo, there will be a good choice for a tube to use. But always depend how long is your draw length, what type of material you are using for the ammo, and different things. So Good thing about tubes is that you don't need nothing more than a scissor to work with, and it's very fast, and the life of a tube is longer than a band, on what I found out, what I experienced myself. So for example, a frameless with tube will last me forever, and for a long time, and this is the thing. The bad thing about tubes is that they can be a little bit slower than the bands with some setup, but it's not always true. And the second thing is that some people don't like it because when you are going to make your fork, they can roll a little bit in your fingers. But this also is not really true, because there are ways to do it. There are techniques to keep in place, and after you shoot for a while, the tubes will lose the first shiny part, the slippery part will get more sticky, and will stay more in your fingers. But to prevent the tube from rolling, I will show you after. Bands. Good thing about bands is that with one type of band you can have a bigger spectrum of ammos, because the only thing you need to do is cut your strip a little bit bigger for a bigger ammo, and for this reason you can work with it. Also, you can make a faster setup, and this can be helpful. And the second and the third thing is that they don't roll your fingers, because it's a band, so it gets stuck there, doesn't move. You have a good thing, a good solid position. Bad thing about bands is that you need more tools to prepare the setup. So you need a rotary cutter, you need a big ruler, you need a cutter mat, and you have to be careful to cut a long strip like this. You can also cut two small strips and connect in the middle, but you always have to cut it. So you need more tools and more preparation. And the second bad thing is that the lifespan of a band, of frameless with band, that setup, with the same amount of stretch and everything, is shorter. The bands will last less. And okay, this is the thing. I'm not going to talk what type of thickness you need for the bands for each ammo, and what type of tube you need for each ammo, because there are several of videos on YouTube and hundreds of posts online that you can go and check. So, do I say everything? Yeah, more or less is what we need. And the pouch is your choice. That we are going to talk about the pouch, but your choice always depends about the size of the ammo, how you shoot, how you grip it, and everything. So we talk a little bit about this. Let's move to the second stage of this video, and it will be how to make a frameless setup, and we just dive into. Okay, I want just to show you this cap, because this cap is something else. Look at that. Look at that. Kind of cool, huh? Okay, see you there. On the stage, second part of the video. And this is what we are going to do. So when you buy the tubes, they come in a little package like this. This one is 10 feet. You can buy it 10 meters or wherever. I'm using a 1632 small tube because I shoot 6.35 millimeters or 1/4 steel ball. So small, long draw, very fast. So let's do this. Okay, then to tie it up, I'm using this little device that I made, very simple, piece like this, 2 clamps, and a little, this is an electrical wire, but you can use a string, anything. So I'm going to show you how this works, and put it here in the clamp. Okay, and to tie them up, you can use a cotton string. Works just fine, and you have to make a constrictor knot to do that. I'm not going to do that today because I have another method that I use right now. Is easier and faster. And but if you want cotton, I use it for a long time in bands, in tubes, and always works great. The only thing that I like to do is I like to grab a little candle and just wax it a little before doing it. So constrictor knot, if you use the. Otherwise, you can buy one of these. Are very cheap, like $1.50, something like this. It's like an elastic material, so you can give a little bit of stretch. When you make a knot, it will constrict, and this is fast, cheap. You have a lot of material here. It will last you for a long time. And so when I make the tubes, I like to do that. The length that I need is from here, from the knot to the pouch, to the start of the pouch, is 10.5 inches. So when I'm making the bands, I leave a little bit longer, and I make a knot. You see? I make a knot in the center. Now I have one that is already made. This one. So there is a knot here in the center. Why is that? Because when I put my finger, I'm always going to find the center right away. If there is not, I can do this fast, and boom, and maybe I'm not in the center, you see, and I'm doing like this. So when I do it, when I have a knot, I know that I'm in the center. The knuckle goes in the center, and I can draw. Also, it makes a V. You see, makes a V. It doesn't make a round loop, so the V really squeezes on your finger and keep it in place. So a knot is a good thing. It's a good tip. Good tip. So we made a knot. Let's go down. Now I don't have a. Let's go down. Let's see. Okay. So we are here. Let's grab a pouch. Now I'm going to do this just with the purpose of showing to you. Let's grab a pouch. Let's use this one. I don't really like this one, but I'm going to use it anyway just to show you. I'm going to use the other frameless that I have, and so I made a mark here. I made a mark. What is the length that I want? It's very simple. You grab this one, grab the pouch, you put the tube in, you reach the mark. Let's do this second mark. You bend it, and you bend it from the outside of the tube. So when you are in, you grab from the knot, you let the tubes going down. So you leave like this. It has to go to the inside. So when we are in this position, you just bend it. Now we are going to use this one. Grab it like this. Open, and squeeze it. And squeeze it like that. Okay? Now we are squeezed like this, with the long part on the bottom and the short part on the top. Now this is the close like that, clamp. So why I do this? Like this, any length of pouch that I need, this little device will cover it. Now, grab this, I put it inside the pouch, I put in this clamp, and I give a little stretch like this. And I give a little stretch like that. Look, there you go. Now you have a little bit of stretch. So if the pouch was smaller, it will work. If the pouch was bigger, it will still work, because we have this thing that we go like this inside the clamp, and I give a little bit of stretch like that. A little bit more like this. Boom. So we grab a piece of this one, right? We cut it like that. So all you need is a scissor with the tube, and we go here. I give a little bit of stretch, and I go one, go down, two, go down. Cut my fingers before, so I have a little tape, and three. Now, when you are here, I make just a simple knot. Make one knot like that. That's it. I stay on the top, and I make a second knot. Never had a failure. That's it. So take the scissor, I cut these ones there, and you have it. It's already tight. The only thing you want to do is grab this one and cut this one short. Not going to cut it because I'm going to use this tube for another pouch. This is a pouch that I just use to do it. So now you put the other side in. You want this side to go out, right? So you go to the mark, you go to your mark, this, you go to your mark, and you look that everything is more or less smooth, like this. That has to go to the inside, and you do the same thing with this side. So you put it there, you have it like this, it doesn't matter because there is still space to put this one, and you give a little bit of stretch there. You tie the same thing, grab it, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 3 times. You go up one side with another, and you make the knot. Now this tape on my finger really doesn't help, but cut a little bit short here. I'm not doing good for the video. So it's good. And cut like that, cut like this. You open here. This one you will leave it here for the next time, and you have it. You have a frameless. You have a frameless done. The only thing you have to do is cut this part in excess, one here, one there in the pouch, is tie, nice, and you have your knot, you have your length, so you go like this, and you have it. So, and you are good to go, good to go. Give a little bit of stretch to check it, and it's good. Boom, and so every time you go in the knot, and will be always no problem. And this is the very easy thing. What I need is 10.5 inches from the knot to the beginning of the pouch. I make a knot, I say again, because like this, when I put my fingers on, look, it's already centered. I don't have to worry where my end is. I already centered. There is a little V, so it squeezes my finger, and is easy to do. And that's it. With this way to do it, it will last you for a long time. And you can buy one of these, or you can make a band. If you make a band, then you need a rotary cutter and a big ruler, but you are good to go. So let's go down and let's go to the third part of the video, how to shoot. Okay, I'll show you again one more time. Very simple. And okay, see you there. Oh, hey guys! I didn't know that you were here. Okay, so you saw some shooting. It can be crazy accurate. I will give you some tips how to do it. Okay, so first thing, let's talk about how to grip the pouch. This pouch is a very small pouch, like you can see. I cut it little bit on the side too, for the reason that sometimes I use a 8mm steel ball and I use it hay style. So grabbing like this, and I shoot like that. This is another way to shoot. I'm going to talk another time, and I'm not going to talk it right now. So today I'm going to use 6.35mm, 1/4, and you just put in the center. You fold the pouch. This is the position. Okay. So if the band of the tube is very strong, you need more grip, is the way it is. So you will need to grab it a little bit more in the front. When it's not so strong, like this one, like a 1632 with a so small, you can grab it just on top of the hammer. So the release will be, boom, very, very smooth. If you grab it on the front, you can have some crazy, sometimes if you are not smooth, if you are not used to, if you're new, you can give some little undulations to the pouch in the moment of the release. and these can give you finger hits. And another thing is when you are in position and you are going to open the fork, so this will be the fork, it can be helpful to turn the pouch 90 degrees, but it's not necessary. It's not 100% necessary. If you have a smooth release and everything, you won't hit your hand, but is good to turn the pouch 90 degrees. So you will have even a more clearance of your fingers. No, you have more clearance of your fingers. And basically, I do it because when I'm going like this, I'm going like that. You see, I'm not shooting like that. Some guys they shoot like this. I don't. I shoot like that. Why? Because this, if you take your hand and you put in the back, look, this is natural. This is very natural. If you do this, you feel it tense. You feel it more tense. If you do it that, super tense, right? So this is the most natural. Even with archery, thumb draw, this is very natural. And so the second thing is how to grip in your fingers. So when you have it like this, you have your pouch on it, you have to put, the way that I do it, there are several ways to do it. You can follow any way to do it, or you can find your own. If you don't have a fingers, you have to use another finger, right? I met a guy that didn't have a finger, so he couldn't put the ring finger inside. So the best way to do it is the way that works for you. But I'm going to show you how I do it. So I put my ring finger here in the first knuckle, here, this knuckle here. Put the other three inside. I have the pinky here. I'm going, and this little part helps to grab it. Help psychological, I think. Okay. So you pull it, and the trick is, if you're going to start to make the fork right there without even give a little bit of stretch, the bands can roll from your fingers. Okay. But if you are in this position and you give a little bit of stretch, just before, a little bit of stretch, now there is no more rolling. So, little bit of stretch, rolling. So, if I'm here, I can see how fast it doesn't roll. It doesn't roll. So, if you give a little bit of stretch, roll. Stretch, pump. Stretch, boom. There is no this problem to roll. Also, you have to find the best position on your fingers to put the tube. So, just in front of this knuckle, in front and like behind this one, there is this gap. The knuckles, they make this and that. So there is a little groove over there. So we have a little groove is already set up for frameless. So when I do it, look where I put my tube, just before the knuckle. If you put it there and you give a little bit of stretch, it won't move. It stays in that groove before the knuckle and the bone, so it won't move. And because there is a little bit of stretch, the tube will stay in place in your thumb. So this is the position, and you can choose to start. I would suggest you to open your fingers, right? To open your fingers. Now, what else we have to talk? Let me see my notes. Okay, so We can shoot 90 degrees, we can shoot like that, we can shoot 45, we can shoot a little bit, like 20, anything. For example, how I shoot, if you saw it, I shoot, I show you, I will aim in the camera, I shoot a little bit canted. No, I'm not shoot vertical, a little bit canted, just a little bit. Why so? You try to do this. Stay relaxed. You lift your hands, and your hand is not 90. It's a little bit twisted. So this is the most natural position. Look this. I'm staying relaxed. I lifted. How is my hand? It's 90? No, it's like that. So this is the position that I'm going to shoot because it's the most natural for me. Every time I go up, it's the most natural. I can do it for a long time. It comes natural because it's natural, it's comfortable, it's the way that I shoot. I'm going to talk about aiming after because for each position there is a aiming, and but we are talking about aiming after. So for the first times, I will suggest you don't need to go far. You don't need to stay far away from your target and be like focused just to hit the target. No, you don't want to do that. You just want to have a smooth release, work on your form and your serenity to shoot in this style without any fear. Don't how do you say? Don't believe in yourself. With this style, and mostly with other style like this, or if you shoot like this with a finger or something like this, don't hesitate. Don't fear, because if you have fear, if you don't believe in yourself, your brain is going to do something strange. You're going to eat. So stay relaxed, do what you do, and you will be good. So for this reason, it's good to have work on the nice release and a nice form. The hands too. The hand, when you are like this, it's no crunch, it's no over stretch. It's natural. It's natural. And don't flip it. Don't flip it force. The flip will come naturally because there is a tension. When there is a tension, you are giving opposite tension to a stretch, right? You are giving counter force to a force in your hand. So when the force is going to give up, boom, your hand is going to move forward natural way, and this is the way to do it. So you don't need to start. You don't need a target. You don't need anything. You can do it at home. You can hang a jacket, a heavy jacket, or a blanket. You can stay 2 feet from the jacket and just boom, 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 release. So and work on your form, work on your release that has to go smooth. You don't have to do you know, like this or be forced. Has to boom, 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 and your hand just go away. It's like archery. In archery, when you are like this, you keep giving tension, 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 tension. You reach a point. Okay, you can have a psychological trigger or something. You reach a point where your back muscle reach a point where, boom, and if you have a good solid form and a back tension and everything, your hand won't do that, but will go back. So, boom. It's like that because you are giving tension, that's why you will creep, and this is not good. And for the slingshot, it's the same. Even if we are working with very light draw and not like 60 pounds, 40 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever. So it's doing boom. And the same here. When I'm doing this, I'm going back, 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 back. Keep it tension, keep it tension, keep it tension. Thumb. And I just release smooth. This is what you want to do. If you have it, you will achieve accuracy, and you will be accurate without even practice. So if you have a nice form, the precision will come. If you don't have a nice form, a repeatable nice form, then the precision will come at times. You will hit something good, and after maybe you won't hit good, and after back again. If you have a nice form, you will always hit good. If you are going to miss, you're going to miss for not much. This is important. So work on your form. You can have your anchor here, like that. You can have it here, you can have it here, you can have it here, or you can have it back there. So back there is called a semi-butterfly or full butterfly if you have open hands, and is a flutuant anchor point. So it's in the middle of the hair. You can have reference like the band touching the cheek, one position, and this is going to get print in your brain with muscle memory, with repetition, repetition, repetition. You will feel that you are in the right position. And for the anchor point in the flutuant way, you can use some sort of how do you say, anchor point in your body. What I am to say? For example, when I'm squeezing my shoulder blade like this, I reach a moment that the shoulder blade, they don't move anymore. So I can't squeeze it more than that. If I squeeze it more than that, it means that my hands are going back. But my shoulder blades are not moving. My shoulders are bending. So if I don't bend the shoulders and I squeeze the shoulder blade, the shoulder blade, you say something, I'm reaching a limit. So I'm using that one. When I'm going back, you see, I'm reaching here. I can't go more. I can't go more. If I'm going more, because I'm bending or I'm moving my arm, right? So this can be a first anchor point. And the second anchor point, you can feel the stretch of the band, the touch here, and you're good to go. So the first thing you want to do is just stay close. You can stay close like this. Oh, well, you can stay even closer like that. You can stay very, very close like this. No target. No target. They can give you something in your mind, and if you don't hit the target, it will give you frustration and sadness because you didn't hit the target. You want to hit the target right away. No, like for example, how much? For example, I always I compare with archery. How much? Some of you guys, you're an archer maybe, and there is a blind shooting. There is a target. You shoot a target with no bullseye, just to work on the form. In Kyudo, in Japanese style, they work very close to work on the form. The form is important. The bullseye can give you something different. After you can put a bullseye and work on it. But to work on the form, you don't need it. You can also work closed eyes if you want, with the eyes closed. But so you just want to stay here, smooth, give a little bit of pretension. So recap everything. Grab the pouch just on top, easily. You can grab it like this, you can grab it like that, or like this. What works for you, okay? You have to try it. And when you try, when you find a thing, stick with it. If you change, it will change your shot. So stick with it for a moment, for days, weeks, and you see if it works for you, okay? Like that. A ring finger in the knot, they won't move because there is a little V over there, because the knot squeezes the two tubes together. Give a little bit of stretch. You go back. You aim. Or you don't aim. You don't need to aim. You just need to feel. Go back. Pull, 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 pull. And that release. And you do it again and again. You don't need to anything. So you stretch and you release. And you keep doing so. When you will feel more comfortable, then you can hit targets. But for the moment, you are working on your form, and with repetition, you will be self-aware that you are not going to hit your fingers because your form is good. And if you are aware that you are not going to hit your fingers, you will be relaxed. Then you're going to focus more on the precision and what I'm going to aim and what you are going to hit. Okay, I talk a lot. So now let's move to the fourth part of the video and how to aim. Okay. Hey guys, we didn't see you again. Let's go close. We were kind of 20 yards here, and shoot a little bit distance. A can and a little stuff like that. 1 inch and something. So, four part how to aim. Okay, there are. I'm not going to talk any aiming technique because there are crazy videos over there, and we are talking about this style of frameless. So there are several ways to do it, several styles of frameless. So each one more or less has the one technique or the best technique to use it. Today I'm going to talk always about this. I'm going to talk too much because it's kind of hard with me. but because there are crazy videos over there, crazy good videos online you can find, and I don't want to say names because otherwise I'm going to forget someone. But basically there are three ways to aim, more or less. One is completely, I would say, instinctive, or a feeling I would call it. It's basically you don't look your frame, you just bam, bam, you just shoot, and this is a great way to shoot if you're shooting moving targets, fast targets, anything that you need fast shooting or very instinctive shooting. It's very hard to beat if you shoot a fast target like this or moving target. So to get good with this aiming technique, you have to shoot a lot, because you have to build a muscle memory, and your brain has to know the perfect trajectory of the ball or your ammo in any time. So your brain will imagine and will invisible line from your pouch. It goes through the center of your fork to the target. So a laser beam over there. So the distance, to know the distance with this technique is not very important, because you can do pump. So, and for example, I do like this, grab it, you aim, you see I hit. Well, you didn't see it, but I hit that branch without even aiming. I was there like this. My hand was a little bit more canted, almost horizontal. Was like that, a little bit more than 45, and I was there like this. So you have to shoot a lot with. When I start with the slingshot, I was a kid. I'm a right-handed, right high dominant. When I started, I was shooting left-handed, and so I was holding the slingshot with my right arm, and I was pulling with my left arm, and I was using my left eye, and I was shooting completely instinctive with no aiming. I was instinctive, a feeling. I would say instinctive because, well, now it starts a war here, but instinctive is something you do for the first time, and after that your brain learns from the mistakes of the first, right? So it's not more purely instinctive, but it's more a learning curve. Your brain will learn a side picture. So if you want to see if it's very instinctive, you have to shoot dark, completely dark. You don't have to see anything. You should be able to eat anything. So because you don't see anything. And well, that is another argument. But this is the first way to aim. The second way to aim is to have a reference on your fork, in this case your fingers. So for example, the ammo will live with a trajectory that basically this is your line of sight, right? Your anchor point maybe is here, maybe it's there. It's very hard to be here. Very hard to be here. So your line of sight will be higher than your anchor point. So your ammo will live with an angle going uphill. It will go uphill. It will cross your sight, your line of sight for the first time. You will reach a higher point. It will come down and will cross again. So you will have a point on and a certain distance with a certain bend, with a certain ammo, with the weight of the ammo, with the power of the band, and with your length, your anchor point, and where your anchor point is. So if your anchor point is here, and the line of sight is here, so it will be a closer. It will be the gap will be different. It will be a little bit smaller from your eye, from the line of sight to your anchor. So your anchor is here. The angle will be steeper. So, and for this reason, you can, with the same anchor point, with the same length, with the same draw length, with the same bands and everything, more or less, you can have always, you know, where your point on is, and you can make your point on hit in a specific distance, working with these parts of the slingshot, ammo, length, band, power, and that kind of stuff. But so you can use a reference point for, in this case, this frameless. We can use this one. We can use the top of the band here, where the band hit. You can use this top, you can use this one, you can use this one, this line, you can use any line you want. So you know that, for example, at 12 yards, if you have the same anchor point, the same form, the same release, and also the bands are subject with the change of temperature and change of power with temperature, that is another argument, you will know that, I don't know, at 12 yards, if you aim on this point, your ammo will hit there. So you can use a reference point on your fork, and that moment is very important to keep it So you can use that reference point on your ammo. So you have different reference points. For example, this can be 10 yards, this can be 20, or this can be 10, this can be 17. I don't know. Otherwise, you can use always the same. You know, I don't know, 13 yards, 14 yards, 15 yards. You can have your point on ease here, and after you shoot at 25, you shoot maybe 1 foot under. Hey, you know that you had to shoot with the same reference. You had to shoot 1 foot over. So you take the same distance that you miss under, you put it on top, you go on top with the same reference, and you are going to hit more or less the target. That is called gap shooting. It's like archery. So and this is the way. So to have a perfect line, so we talk about up and down. Now we talk left and right. Left and right, if you keep it perfectly vertically and you align the bottom tube, the bottom band with the top band, and you have a smooth release, your ammo will go straight. So the left and right, these will take care of the left and right. The up and down, you have a reference, and this is the way to shoot with a reference. So I take a reference, for example here on top, 10 yards, I'm with my anchor point, I release, I stay up and down, I release, boom, and goes there. Same goes with same butterfly on everything. So if you want the point on that goes a little bit farther, you have to go down, so the angle goes steeper, and the ball will go down, will go longer. If you want the point on closer, or if you want to have more your brain to give a little bit more instinctive, like to help your brain to calculate better the trajectory, if you're not shooting completely with a reference, then to go closer to your eye is better because the gap is closer, and for this reason the ability of the brain to calculate a trajectory without any reference, with just a learning experience, gets better. It's the same thing with archery, split finger or 3 under. And but this is another argument. So and also the width of your fork will change the trajectory of the ball, because we have a triangle here. So look, if I shoot like this, look where is my sight, and both bands are going this direction. If I open like that and I'm going like this, same point with the same line of sight, my both bands, they are not pulling like this, so it's not going with this angle, but one band is pulling down, so the angle will be lower. So the width of your band are going to change. The width of the band is going to change the trajectory of your ammo. So you have to work with these things. But the second way is to have a reference point to stay online. Go online, check how to shoot over the top, and there are full of videos. Third way, the way that I shoot, is one thing between the two. So I don't use a clear, fixed reference point on my target. So I don't put a target close here all the time and I say 10 yards is like that. No, I don't really care if it's 10 yards, it's 15 or whatever. But I care, and also because I shoot a little bit canted. And but this is what is going to happen. Look, I have a slingshot here. I will take this as a reference, and I'm going to use this as a target. So you put the case that you have a reference here, and you are shooting like this on the top. You want to hit like that on the center. On the center you put your slingshot on the center, you want to shoot. But look what happened if I turn. So this target moves. So when you move your target, it won't be here anymore. If you shoot in the same way, there are different ways that you can always use this reference, but you're moving like that, so your target will be on the side, a little bit here on the center of the air, somewhere, but close to there. So you have a little reference just to give you an idea, your brain a help. Don't leave your brain completely to his instinct, to his feelings, but you have a little reference, and but the target is still somewhere. That you have to build up your experience with shooting. So this is the way that I shoot. And so when I aim, I go back, and my target is, because I count a little, my target is somewhere here, on a certain distance. After my experience will tell me, my experience, because I learned the trajectory more or less, will tell me if it's here, if it's there, if it's here, if it's there, if it's here, if it's there, more or less. Because I shoot close to my eye, and because I shoot light tubes with very fast ammo, very light ammo, the trajectory of my ammo is very flat. It's very fast and flat. So my brain has an easy time to calculate the trajectory. So for a long distance, more or less, because the drop of the ammo is little, I could hit pretty good. So, and what I'm going to say, yeah, and the up and down is this. The left and right, you go to experience, you say, okay, it's more or less, I don't know, you learn that it's more or less, I don't know, ½ inch from the side, you stay like that, you release, and your ammo will go straight in that direction. So there is you're still to imagine the line, but you have a reference that's going to help you. So you are going to build a sight picture. You know where your frame is in reference of the target all the time, and I would say it's more or less like archery, split vision. So, but this is the way that I shoot. This is the third way that you can shoot. So in any given distance, I can stay here, can aim, and for example, just to tell you, my finger was not on the top of the can. My finger, my index, was not in the center like a reference, 90 degrees. My finger was a little bit on the side. And in doing so, you can work on it and keep shooting that, and you will get good at it. All right, guys, I talk a lot again. I'm going to wrap him up. Say take care, and shoot straight. Have fun. If you shoot for any kind of thing, competition, or have fun just like me, and have fun with Frameless, and see you next time around. All right.